Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Good afternoon, depending on your time zone. Thank you so very much for tuning in. Today is going to be a very, very, very interesting day. We're all awaiting, should be today, could be tomorrow, but we're all awaiting the Manafort jury to come to a verdict. They're deliberating right now, and I'll read you the latest update regarding the Manafort trial. Manafort, Mueller, and Trump wait for jury's verdict. CNN, the trusted news. The trusted news in America and in the world. Definitely not a Democratic Party public relations machine. And you have to really wonder. Thank you, everyone. Thank you to my super chat. You give me every incentive to keep rocking these live streams. Thank you. And I appreciate everybody who saw this. If you didn't get a notification, if you feel free to just share this segment also on Twitter if you can. And tell your friends about these live streams. I'm going to start uploading as well. I think I might do an upload today to kind of sprinkle the upload in with the live streams that I do. But tell your friends. Definitely tell your friends about the live stream. It's really fun. We have the best live chat on YouTube, I think. And it's just awesome. If you're new to this channel, please subscribe. Paul Manafort's fate. Here I'll give you. So this is the latest on the Manafort trial as of 11:21 Pacific time. Here is the link. Paul Manafort's fate and possibly the future of the special counsel Robert Mueller's investigation into Russian interference in the 2016 election is now in the hands of 12 men and women from Northern Virginia. That, ladies and gentlemen, is all you need to know about the farce and about the hoax and the propaganda blitz that is Russian interference. Not one vote was altered. Hillary Clinton outspent Trump 2-1. She was victorious in the popular vote. So how did the Russians interfere? How? Well, Facebook ads. It was an elaborate Facebook ad. Well, which Facebook ads? Well, we don't know. They won't tell you which Facebook ads. They won't tell you which Twitter bots. How many people were altered? How many votes were altered because of a Buff Bernie coloring book? And one reason I'm annoyed with Bernie Sanders is because part of the Russian hacking nonsense is the belief that Russia wanted voters to vote for Bernie. That's the belief. It wasn't that people liked Bernie Sanders' message back then. It was because, oh, well, Russia wants you to do it. Why would Russia? Why has anybody asked why Russia always votes Democrat? You have Trump, who actually sold weapons to the Ukraine. Obama did not. Trump imposed harsher sanctions on Russia. Obama did not. And so, like, what the Obama administration presided over, and like liberals have debunked. They've tried to debunk even reality. Reality is that the sale went through. The uranium deal did go through. How's the sound, everybody? Good? Oh, volume? Okay. Go ahead. Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now? How's the sound now? Julie, Kent, you and I both. My God. All right. Thank you. All right. Yes. Oh, and on a sad note, Aretha Franklin passed away. She was just one of the greats of all time. She was just unbelievable. Really one of the great singers and artists of all time. Aretha Franklin was wonderful, absolutely wonderful. You don't see an Aretha Franklin anymore. You just don't. I mean, you better think it's right. You just don't. You don't see that level of, I don't know, like intensity and talent. I don't know. I guess I just like everything from the old school, but Aretha Franklin, she was just absolutely brilliant, brilliant, and what a sad loss. But Paul Manafort, why would the Mueller probe rest on a trial that has absolutely nothing to do with Russian hacking? That's number one. Why would the Mueller probe rest? Why would the future of the Mueller probe rest on a trial? And there's a good chance that, hello, Eric H526, Hal and everyone, love you all, share everywhere. Thank you, Eric H526. Well, we already have 301 people watching 6 minutes in. I want to thank everyone. Deanna Heft, thank you. Thanks everybody for your kind words. Thank you, everyone. So yeah, Eric, you're one of the regulators. So that's the first question. Number one, why would the future of the Mueller probe rest upon a trial that has absolutely zero, let me repeat myself, absolutely zero to do with Russian hacking? Because Democrats want blood. They want revenge. Hillary Clinton purchased her own FISA warrant. Hillary Clinton purchased her own Russian hacking myth. Hillary Clinton got out of jail free. Hillary Clinton will eventually get indicted and charged while Trump is president. And you talk about lies. There's so many grandiose lies that not only have been told by Hillary Clinton, oh, I used a server for convenience. I never sent or received anything marked classified or classified. In each case, she lied. In each case, it was a lie directly related to national security. Peter Strzok was fired from the FBI for covering for Hillary Clinton. What did he think was going to happen? Well, he probably said, well, we're just going to go ahead and ensure that Clinton wins. This way, we're going to ensure that Clinton does not get indicted, no matter what. And what they do is they actually deceive themselves. They make the investigation so narrow that they don't look under every stone. They don't investigate every single aspect of what they should be investigating. You don't go ahead and start a probe into Clinton emails if you don't find out how she transferred top secret intelligence. She had information from the CIA. So from the CIA, someone there had to send an email to her private server and back and forth. How did that take place? Were there no alarm bells? How did she go ahead? JWIX is the system where top secret intelligence travels. I believe it's the Department of Defense system. I believe the CIA uses it also. I could be wrong, but I know the Department of Defense and the State Department use JWIX. How on earth? And you cannot go ahead and send pictures of a squirrel or a video of a squirrel surfing from your cousin in Atlanta to somebody at the Department of Defense through JWIX. and they can't go ahead and send anyone else from JWICS. How, Harvey Goldberg, thank you. How was she able to go ahead and transfer top secret intelligence onto a server in her basement and other servers in the State Department? Peter Strzok never found that out. What he was busy doing, along with Bruce Orr, is finding out how to utilize the Steele Dossier, which was not classified, unclassified, to start an investigation into Trump and all his associates based on gossip and hearsay. Then they used some more gossip and hearsay with Alexander Downer, and they said it was a drunken conversation where George Papadopoulos spilled the beans on what? Who knows? But that's not even how. If the tables were turned, they'd say, "Where's the evidence?" Because we have William D. Campbell, who was actually an FBI informant. He testified before numerous congressional committees, and he stated that the Russians were bragging about their influence over Hillary Clinton and President Obama. So the issue here, and then you have a FISA warrant for Carter Page. The Steele Dossier was utilized to obtain a FISA warrant. The Steele Dossier was utilized to unmask names. The Steele Dossier was utilized for everything. And the bigger the investigation got, the more they could hide behind classified information to essentially hide behind their initial lie. The lie, all of this emanates with Hillary Clinton. She funded the Steele Dossier. The Washington Free Beacon had absolutely nothing to do with the Steele Dossier. And it's made very clear that it has nothing to do with it. If it outsourced Fusion GPS prior, because a lot Republicans and Democrats have used the firm, it ended its involvement with the firm. Then Hillary Clinton started working with the firm. Then Christopher Steele was outsourced. So the issue is Hillary Clinton funneled money through Perkins Coie law firm. Why wasn't the Federal Election Commission notified? Why wasn't the FEC notified? Well, that's a campaign finance violation. Millions of dollars funneled through to purchase a dossier on Trump is not what her voters wanted. And this was even before he became Republican nominee. So she purchased her Christopher Steele is an former MI6 agent who stated that he had Russian contacts. Actually, he stated there's one Vanity Fair article that talks about one of his contacts actually still works, apparently, as an intelligence officer in the Russian government. So, which is probably bogus to begin with, but if it's not, then you have, because that's what was utilized as, oh my goodness, he knows what he's talking about. He has Russian contacts. Then it went from, oh my God, he has Russian contacts, so don't bring it up, because that would mean that she's colluding with Russia. Then she outsourced CrowdStrike, funneling money through the same law firm to look at the DNC servers. Nobody in the United States government looked at the servers. So the NSA is moderately confident based on a CrowdStrike assessment. They never got their hands on DNC servers. So then how on earth does the intelligence reports, the DHS, the Department of Homeland Security, and the ODNI, Office Director of National Intelligence, come up with two reports where they say they're moderately to highly confident, and they have warranty disclaimers, basically saying, don't believe everything we're saying, or don't take it as fact. This is just an assessment and its opinion based on the evidence we have. And the evidence we have is CrowdStrike. That's it. So you have essentially a fabricated myth called Russian hacking that Clinton purchased, because there's no Russian hacking Even if there's no evidence of Russian hacking, nobody's looked at the servers, and nobody is certain. Even CrowdStrike is not certain. And if you cannot find the actual individuals who hacked into the DNC, then you're wasting $10 billion at the NSA. Okay, the actual human beings who hacked into the DNC, we have no idea who they are because they don't exist. Or they exist, but they're so good at hiding their tracks. And the deluded fools who say that 12 Russian nationals were indicted because of hacking, that is, hello, Ed, thank you. That is a joke. 12 Russian nationals were indicted for the conspiracy to hack the DNC. They hide behind semantics in the most vapid, overt manner. You can just... They hide behind all of this in a transparent manner. And now you have the Manafort trial. So I guess I'm giving you a long-winded kind of... And the Manafort trial is just, they didn't have anything. They knew they didn't have anything, but they wanted to whip up as much anger. So you have Trump is a racist, so that whole thing still goes on. Okay, so the people who actually fall for that, even though he's won civil rights awards and he was never called a racist prior to the election, and so people who and he just speaks in a belligerent manner, people take that as racism. So they don't take that Obama destroying an African nation, that's not racist. That's just, oh, you know what, shrug shoulders, it happens. Could you imagine if Trump destroyed Libya? Could you imagine if Trump presided over Standing Rock or the Flint water crisis? Could you imagine if Trump was the president when 9 African Americans were murdered in one of the worst terrorist attacks? I call it a terrorist attack in Charleston, in their own church. These are Christians worshiping in their own church. Black worshipers under President Obama murdered by Dylan Roof. But of course, Obama was not racist and he didn't embolden anyone. But Trump is the embodiment of all that's horrible. Why? Because we know, because Charlottesville happened. And Charlottesville was, a woman who died there, Heather Heyer. And one has to ask the question, why didn't the police prevent both sides? Why didn't the police prevent both sides from rioting? Okay, Democrats are vile. Democratic Party operatives were forced to resign for fomenting violence at Trump rallies. Now you have one congresswoman saying, yell at them. Don't let them eat. Then you have the millennial social justice warriors saying, yeah, that's true. Don't let them eat because you know what? Well, there's really bad things taking place. Well, President Obama in a Senate report did worse than Trump regarding immigration. I don't even want to get into it right now. Much worse. And you have the issue of, and so nobody cared though. Nobody wanted to abolish ICE. President Obama utilized ICE. So you have the faux racism. Oh my God, he's a racist. Oh my God, he's a racist. Like you're telling somebody something that they've never heard before. Intelligent people say, no, he's not a racist. There are the same people who say he's a racist now, 99% of them have said he's a racist in 2015. There's nothing new there. You're not going to win the midterms. And you have that. Then you have the fake, completely fabricated Russian hacking myth without any evidence, zero evidence. And then the logic is so lacking that, well, look at Manafort, look at the indictments, it has nothing to do with Russian hacking. That has nothing to do. And then they say, even Omarosa now is feeding into the frenzy of just pathetic imbeciles and Democrats who just hoping to get something. So she's like, yeah, WikiLeaks knew. Trump knew about the WikiLeaks emails. First of all, if he did, well, he didn't. But if he did, then he would have known of emails that show Bernie Sanders was cheated. Again, nobody talks about that. So it doesn't matter how you feel about Bernie now. He's let me down big time. But all of this stuff, well, they were embarrassing emails. No, they were emails that talked about that proved that Bernie Sanders was cheated. They tried to use his religion against him. They apologized for that. Debbie Wasserman Schultz resigned in disgrace. Numerous other Democratic Party officials resigned in disgrace. You have the Podesta email showing there was a Pied Piper strategy. They wanted to elevate Trump. So they're elevating Trump. They're spying on Trump. They're cheating Bernie. They're completely and utterly corrupt. They're completely and utterly corrupt. And all you can talk about, all they can talk about is, oh my God, look at Trump's tweets. This is, oh my God, look at Trump's tweets. Look at what he's so boorish. Oh, you know, I was sipping on my Merlot yesterday with my latte. And I was thinking of all the wonderful things regarding socialism and wonderful, 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 great. I know. I was thinking about socialism and people who aren't racist. And I said, why didn't Hillary win? This is Hillary Clinton. She got $153 million. Sorry, you have to. $153 million from Wall Street speaking fees with her husband, Bill. $156 million from money funneled into the Clinton Foundation with people she met. And these are the same people who will eventually vote for Hillary Clinton, who talk about the wonders of socialism. Now, when I was writing on behalf, I wrote 100 plus articles for Bernie, saying that Bernie Sanders was better than Clinton when I was on the left. I never viewed him as a socialist. In fact, I would kind of get upset when people were like, he's a socialist. I would say democratic socialist. But at that time, democratic socialists wanted to break up too big to fail banks, which is like a Rand Paul, like libertarians could get with that. Bring home soldiers from war, end quagmires. He doesn't talk about foreign policy anymore. He doesn't talk about breaking up banks. He doesn't talk about reinstating Glass-Steagall. Regardless of how you feel about fracking, he doesn't talk about banning fracking. He's been like neutered or, co-opted or whatever. The Bernie Sanders of yesterday is not the Bernie Sanders of today. Merced Cali, no, I have to tell you, I've only shot around maybe a couple hundred rounds. So, but Merced Cali, no issues thus far. But I haven't really gone to the range as much as I want to. I think there's a channel called AK Operators. They say like after 5,000 rounds, there's a problem. But the thing is, they didn't clean it. I think like after 1,000 rounds, I'm just going to go, or maybe 2,000, I'll go clean it, go to the gun, the gunsmith at the outdoor range, and he'll clean the rifle and, take it apart and everything, like maintain it. But I think the AK Operators channel said that after 5,000 rounds, there was an issue. But they treated it like, they just were, it was, I think it was on fully automatic and everything. So it's like, just with the mag dump that I did for my, for the Father's Day mag dump, 40 rounds, just, going as fast as I could. The barrel of the gun was hot, very, very, very hot. So, Spencer, you're right. You're right. Eventually down the road, I'll start doing everything myself. But you're right about that. let's just continue. So, Manafort trial. So, I mean, think about this. Like, they're trying to say that he hid money from the IRS because he was hard up for money. But their argument is that he was so rich. So the argument is that, oh, Lord. So, USA Today, 5 key points that could sway the jury in Paul Manafort trial and determine his fate. Jurors now hold Paul Manafort's fate. He's going to get, by the way, he's going to get pardoned by Trump. So, he'll get pardoned by Trump. It's just, how many years is the guy going to have to be in prison for a crime that usually does not lead to prison time? This has nothing to do. This is just, and people like Democrats think that Mueller is like this embodiment of virtue. Mueller is just hurting people for political retribution. That's it. It's all about political retribution. There's nothing more to this. There's absolutely nothing more to this than political retribution. And Democrats are okay with that. Because the mentality, ladies and gentlemen, the mentality is a Hillary Clinton mentality. Once she gets indicted, Gamer 49. When you mag dump, did you hit your target? Oh, not like out of 40 rounds, I probably maybe 15. I mean, it was maybe like 30 yards away. And it was like a steel plate, maybe 20 inches or so. Anyway, so jurors now hold Paul Manafort's fate. The former campaign manager for President Donald Trump could spend the rest of his life behind bars for what? Or walk free or anything in between. That should not be that should not be what's taking place in our country. Everyone is at risk now, ladies and gentlemen. So Democrats have made the precedent that if you are even somewhat aligned in some way to a person who is investigated based on a fake dossier, your life could be ruined. Tina Bobina, hello. So each day, testimony from witnesses and documents seem to prove new bombshells. Oh my God, as prosecutors work to unravel the confusing string of foreign bank accounts and money made during Paul Manafort's lobbying for the government of Ukraine. Each day, testimony from witnesses and documents seem to prove. Okay, so, but now it'll be up to the jurors, 6 men and 6 women, to decide who they believe and whether prosecutors did enough to prove the 18 counts laid against Manafort and the tax bank. Here are the points that could lay heavy on the jurors' mind. Credibility of Rick Gates. So Gates basically said, yeah, I committed crimes with him. It's like, okay. Quick pace of trial. And so Paul Manafort's suits, his jackets. This is so stupid. Like, this is Russian hacking. This is what, the whole no case by defense. So it might have seemed a bit weird. The defense is like, go ahead and prove it. I think it has to be without a reasonable doubt, right? Obviously. So what took place with this ridiculous trial, and whether he's found guilty or innocent, whether he's found not guilty, you can say goodbye to the Mueller probe. That'll be the biggest news. That'll be even bigger news than Strzok getting fired and 2 planes flying in from the DOJ to Little Rock and John Brennan. Every Saturday morning we'd watch cartoons at the State Department, and I would get in for free. with my security clearance, but now I can't watch Thundercats. I can't watch Rainbow Bright. I can't watch Transformers. Or even Battletech. Thanks a lot, Trump. And by the way, we know you colluded with Russia to hack the DNC to ensure that people knew that Bernie Sanders was cheated, then making sure that people didn't vote for Hillary because they viewed her to be a cheating liar. I'll get you one day. So, judge chastising prosecutors. Ellis was picking on prosecutors and their strategy before the trial even started. You don't really care about Mr. Manafort's bank fraud. What you really care about is what information Mr. Manafort could give you that would reflect on Mr. Trump and lead to his prosecution or impeachment. The vernacular is to sing. So I don't see how you can. I mean, Sticks Exenhammer was saying that he sees that there could very possibly be a not guilty verdict found. And I do agree with him. I think that Sticks is right. And but think about it. If you're on the jury and you know this is about Trump, Russia, and you're like, what is going on here? The guy has an ostrich skin jacket, like big deal. Okay, like what do you want from me? What do you want? What do you want from me? That's what the basically they're saying. Like, what do you want from me? Like the guy has an ostrich skin jacket. Who doesn't? Who doesn't have an ostrich skin $15,000 jacket? You do. I do. That's just what Americans do. Okay. My socks are $1,000 a piece. You don't want to know what my underwear costs. You don't want to know the hat that I bought that's with pelican feathers that is encrusted in gold. So, I mean, he's only HR picking stuff is right. And the guy has bad taste. Although I will say the suits are nice. The jacket's like whatever. Have you seen this jacket? It's 15 grand for a jacket that looks like, you know, whatever. Like you just I've seen better jackets at Target. So look at me when when you're talking to me, Ellis said to Andres. He goes like this. This is Judge TS Ellis. This is so great. Look at me when you're talking to me, Ellis said to Andres, according to the court transcripts. I'm sorry, Judge, I was. Andres said, no, you weren't. You were looking down. I don't want to get yelled at again by the court for having some facial expression when I'm not doing anything wrong but trying my case. Andres said, Ellis went to accuse Andres of being frustrated and having tears in your eyes. Andres denied it. I think like the guy, Andres, the prosecutor was like, well, they're teary, but they're not tears. Oh my God. What a train wreck of a trial. Point of order, Mr. Chairman, point of order. All of this emanates from Hillary Clinton. All of it. Once Clinton gets indicted, we can move on with somewhat normal political system, somewhat normal. Like, I'm not saying that Bush, the Bush years were normal because Bush was the worst president of all time. And he was one of the worst leaders in human history. He presided and he pushed and he advocated and he engaged in two devastating, horrendous military endeavors in Iraq and Afghanistan and set us off on a course of just instability throughout the Middle East. We're now in Yemen, Syria. Obama then destroyed Libya. where there used to be functioning societies, you can say that Saddam was I'm not a fan of Saddam or Gaddafi or Assad. But rest assured, if you could take a vote of people who lost hundreds and hundreds of thousands, the millions who lost loved ones or who knew of people who have been lost in those wars, if they could vote, they'd be like, no, we don't want any military intervention. But the political system, Bush utilized 9/11 to get to push what was already being pushed by Bill Kristol, who now votes Democrat, in 1998 when he wrote with Robert Kagan, bombing Iraq isn't enough. So, but the thing is, this was before Hillary actually got a certain amount of power to just destroy everything in terms of America's political system. Her ascent in politics, when she became senator, well, then she voted for Iraq. She promptly then made another horrible decision, siding with Bush. But her ascent in politics also coincided with complete and utter control of the Democratic Party. When she lost to President Obama in 2008, she then realized, hey, I better control this political party or else I'll have no chance at all. The only chance I have is to control this political party and thus the media. The media always kind of leaned towards liberal viewpoints anyway, but now it's just a newsletter or public relations monstrosity for the Democratic Party. Everything is, oh my God, Helsinki. Oh my God, did you see Trump? He didn't punch Putin in the face. This is a treasonous, horrible thing. This is like they said it was like Pearl Harbor. It was like these people are out of their minds. What kind of human being would call a decent meeting with Russia an example of like Pearl Harbor? These people are crazy. But all of this stems from Hillary Clinton, and it will only end like Sessions, all of them, Ray, they're not doing themselves any favors. They think that like their thing is like, well, we have to wait for political will. We want to indict Clinton, but we have to wait for political will. We have to wait for the mechanisms of justice, the bureaucracy to kind of lean our way, and then we can strike. And then we can go ahead and indict her for pick a crime, any crime. For campaign finance violations, for RICO law statutes that she broke with the Clinton Foundation, for Espionage Act. But they're not doing themselves any favors, because the longer that Clinton isn't indicted, the longer she could then fabricate Russian hacking and foment the Trump is racist line and control the Democratic Party, which then controls the media, which then is horrible for Republicans and horrible for the quote unquote intelligence community. All these wonderful people. Patty Kieran, thank you, Patty. Thank you so very much. Thank you, Patty, for supporting this channel and my voice. Thank you so very much. Thank you, Patty Kieran. But let's see, Manafort trial. Let's see what's going on. Nosicle J. HA, the DNC isn't tired of losing yet. No, they're not. So Nosicle J, thank you, Patty Kieran. Thank you. No, they're absolutely not. Well, they don't know. This is also the thing. I've noticed this from debating my buddies they don't know what losing means. So they've once they lost, they're like, no, we're going to redefine it. So we won. Everything's a moral victory, yet they have every single advantage. So how does that work? Oh, here we go again. Democrats up 6.8. Of course. This is hilarious too, because so it was up 3.9, then 5.6 or something yesterday. Now 6.8. And all the polls that were a tie, Democrats up 3, up 4, up 2. They're now Democrats up 9, 11, 7. It's because of Omarosa. Why? All because of Omarosa and the tape that doesn't exist? Because of the Manafort trial? That has a very good chance. I mean, if Manafort doesn't get, the odds are that he gets, tried for something, but if he doesn't, you could go ahead and it's pretty much, wow, this is a great, wow. They're talking about how foreign policy botched CIA communications system helped blow cover of Chinese agents. No, how about Hillary's private server? And those agents were then experienced capital punishment. Their lives were taken because of this. Omarosa reveals secret tape of Laura Trump offering her $15,000 a month job at the campaign. That's pretty stupid to turn down. How is that an example of this racist, crazy person? $15,000 a month to 15 grand a month. Omarosa outsmarted herself.
New LA foaming with body wash.
I don't care.
Obviously, with like the New York Times article and stuff, it's. What's the New York Times article? The one that it was in the Times today. I guess you did put Maggie take on there that they wrote about you. It sounds a little like obviously that there's something that the .com can pull out. Clearly, if you come on board the campaign, like we can't hide. We gotta everything. No. Everybody's positive, right? The only thing that we have to consider when we're talking salary as part of the campaign is concerned is that, as you know, everything is public. And all the money that we raise and that pays salaries is directly from donors, small dollar donors for the most part. So I know you were making $179 at the White House. And I think we could work something out where we keep you right along those lines.
Wait a second now. Omarosa made $179 grand at the White House? Wow.
Specifically, let me see, I haven't even added up.
So you pay somebody $179 grand to then backstab and then just like, it's craziness. And then refusing 15 grand a month. Like, she's not going to make 15 grand a month from her book. No Sickle J, thank you. Tamara Friedman, sending prayers for Manafort. He is a scapegoat for the clown show. Exactly. Exactly. Absolutely. Absolutely, Tamara Friedman. I agree with you 100%. Space Ghost 1, I thought we were having an eclipse. It turns out you need a haircut, hippie. H.A. Goodman has grooming standards. I'll need a haircut in about 5 days. About 5-6 days. Then it'll be Space Ghost 1, thank you. As always, Tamara Friedman, thank you. So, oh my God, this is crazy. So she's talking to Laura Trump. Like, but why would you? What's the point in taping everyone? This just makes Omarosa look bad. She's missing out on $180,000. She's not gonna. Is she gonna make 180 grand a year doing what now? So she has all these tapes. She has a book, and she'll get a show. This she'll get. How will she get a show based on this? Who's going to want to work with somebody they know is going to tape them, especially in Hollywood?
But we were talking about like $15K a month. Let me see what that adds up to. 12. Yeah, so that's $180,000. Does that sound like a fair deal for you? In terms of your position specifically, I really feel like your position would require, you to be able to be flexible in terms of where you are. Sometimes, come to New York for occasional meetings, but I would love if you could, occasionally go do speaking engagements and that sort of thing for us. I think you'd be awesome doing that. And so it doesn't really matter where you are.
Oh my God. Oh my God. What a bunch of horrible racist ogres. Exactly. Tamara Friedman sounds like Omarosa works for Intel. Yeah, it does. Tamara, it does. But it's also like Intel, like this, you're right, Tamara, but also it's just, look, how is this a bargaining chip? Like, how is this? So she said that Lara Trump admits in the tape that Omarosa knows some dirty little secrets of Trump's. So what? So what? All Omarosa has done is simply gone ahead and made herself yet again look bad.
Effort against gangs, but we also.
And so you want a tape? Here's a tape that's pretty public.
Have to have an organized effort against gangs, just as in a previous generation we had an organized effort against the mob. We need to take these people on. They are often
Sorry, hold on one second.
Effort against gangs, just as in a previous generation we had an organized effort against the mob. We need to take these people on. They are often connected to big drug cartels. They are not just gangs of kids anymore. They are often the kinds of kids that are called super predators. No conscience, no empathy. We can talk about why they ended up that way, but first we have to bring them to heel. And the president has asked
we have to bring them to heel.
FBI to launch a very concerted effort against gangs everywhere.
And the FBI now against street gangs. Who comprise these street gangs that she was talking about? They were dogs. We have to bring them to heel. And with Trump, it's, oh my God, you said dog. Oh, but Hillary Clinton was calling children like basically monsters that have no empathy, that have to be brought to heel like dogs. And the FBI was going to go after them. This incident begs the Space Ghost 1. This incident begs the question: how many other confidential conversations were taped? Well, I can tell you a whole bunch. Space Ghost 1. I mean, if she taped this many, she probably has endless tapes. Even in a skiff, I know. Sounds like she needs a visit from the FBI DOJ with a search warrant. I agree. See, this is the thing. Space Ghost 1, thank you. Tamara Friedman. If you don't try to play Trump's game. Don't try to play Trump's game. Similarly, don't pretend you're Stormy Daniels when you're not Stormy Daniels. Okay? If Martha Stewart comes out with a sex tape, it's not going to do well. Okay? The Martha Stewart, you think home, the home furnishings, apple pie, whatever. Nobody wants to watch that sex tape. Just be who you are. Don't use your opponents. If you can't run the ball, if you just don't have a running back, but you have amazing receivers and you have the run and shoot offense, then just go ahead and don't pretend that you're like Newt Rockne and the 70s Steelers with Franco Harris. Don't do it. Wilhelm. Don't do it. Just be who you are. Omarosa is trying to be Trump. She's like, I'm going to play his game because I'm just as tough as him. I'm just as tough. I'm just as nasty. You want to get nasty? You don't even know what nasty is. I'm a nasty person. Yeah, but the thing is, you have no base. You have no base of support. Omarosa has no base of support right now. So even James Comey, they've even jettisoned James Comey. James Comey was like, yeah, I'm just going to not say anything anymore because everyone around me is getting fired and I have really no base. I have really no way to say, like, oh my God, John O'Brien got his security clearance taken away. I mean, they're all pretty much done. They're all pretty much done for. But you can't go ahead and you can't say what liberals and Democrats don't get is that they already hated Trump. It ain't going to work. It doesn't. Hating Trump more doesn't hurt him. He is in wrestling. There are certain no single J, the village called. They want their idiot back. No single J, yes. What Omarosa is doing, what is basically, and other people try to do this. They're like, well, we're gonna play, and the media does this also. We're gonna go ahead and beat Trump his own game. He's not gonna know what hit him. We're gonna be nasty. Just like Trump, we're going to be real nasty. We're going to be real nasty. Okay, and then you see this like over-the-top, ridiculous rhetoric. You effing traitor, effing this. F you. Harvey Goldberg, thank you so much. I'm actually talking about Democrats and what they say about Trump, but this is a separate. Okay, so Harvey Goldberg, thank you so much. I just saw your super chat. Thank you. Thank you, Harvey. Thank you, Space Ghost 1. The incident. So yeah, I mean, many were in a skiff, but like you see this over-the-top response to Trump because they're like, he is nasty. We're going to get nasty too. It doesn't work that way. Trump doesn't have to work hard to clown people. He just does. That's just who he is. He clowns. He clowns people. He doesn't go. It's not like difficult for him. Thank you, everybody, for the kind words. It's not difficult for him. Trump is who he is. It's not going to work out. Same with the Manafort case, the Manafort trial, the Mueller probe, all this. Like, they could have just said, look, Hillary Clinton did commit crimes. We're gonna jettison both Clintons, and we're gonna start our political party new. We cheated. Why didn't they say we cheated Bernie Sanders? And we're going to make sure we don't cheat anymore. That's it. And that's it. Like, why can't people just do that? Why can't Democrats just simply say, look, oh, wow. Thank you for the kind words, Omarosa. GOP, guess she forgot these tapes. Oh, wow. Look at this.
When Donald Trump declared that he was going to run. You all know him as the president. I know him as a friend. I know his heart. Donald Trump is a trailblazer on women issues. And not only do I support him as a human being who has incredible character and a great vision, but his policies affect my community where I live in Los Angeles, and that's really why I stand by him. And I believe that you will see that this president is going to be incredible for this country, and I am excited about what's happening with this administration. I'm very honored to be a part of this. And he was the right choice for America. When I say Trump train, I want you to say choo-choo. Y'all ready? Trump train!
Choo choo!
Trump train!
Oh, wow. Oh, my God. Trump, you can't do it. Just don't get in the ring with Fedor or in his prime or Don't get in the ring with Mike Tyson in his prime. Don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it. I mean, don't do it. I love the music in the background. It's just don't do it. I don't know what it's unbelievable how Trump doesn't ever lose. I mean, there's certain things that he's hasn't been perfect, but he doesn't completely lose. Oh my gosh, it's so funny. Liberal side. This is so funny. Oh my god. Oh my god. It's just, it's just unbelievable. I mean, they don't see, there's actually no concept of losing. Like some cultures don't have a word for something. Democrats don't have a word for losing. They just they're like, what is that? What is that when you don't win? What does this mean? Well, Democrats, it means losing. But we won the popular vote. How can that happen? Well, no, because you're not president. You don't have the executive, and actually you lost both houses of Congress. Well, but gerrymandering and Russian collusion. That doesn't mean you didn't lose, though. You did lose. Well, we don't know what that word means. Yeah, I know. I know you don't. I know you don't know what that word means. You don't know also what the word hypocrisy and irony means. What? You mean like Hillary Clinton calling black youth super predators and then cheating Bernie Sanders and then installing her as nominee and then calling Trump racist? Yeah, that's called hypocrisy and irony altogether wrapped into one. Or we're just going to go ahead and pontificate about everything bad and then pretend that Obama fixed everything at the same time. Okay. You have fun. This is so funny. So, let's go Manafort trial. All right. So, what? This is the Hill. Dog writes op-ed blasting Trump for Omarosa comment. You are not being a good boy. What does this even mean? Who finds this even remotely amusing? The Chicago Tribune on Wednesday ran an op-ed written by humor columnist Rex Hupke's pet dog, Zoe, tearing into President Trump. Torn into. How unique. How novel. I think you're calling people dogs because you think that makes them less human. My human says that's something that fascists would do. Your human also loses and votes Democrat. Your human also doesn't know what fascist means. I don't know what that means, but it makes me think you are not being a good boy. You don't know a lot of things, both the dog and the human. Oh, then she's claiming it's hush money. Okay, there you go. Oh my God. You got to give it up for Trump's family too. Like, you have loyal family members. They're happy. They love Trump. They love their father. At the end of the day, the billions, the money, it's worth nothing if you have a dysfunctional family. What good is it if you have a dysfunctional family? I mean, it's true Chelsea Clinton is loyal to her parents, but they only had one kid. Trump has a huge family, and you don't hear anything about any of them messing up. Then they're calling him fascist. They don't know what a fascist means. Nobody knows what fascism means. Fascists would never support a Second Amendment. Fascists would take the right away, or the God-given right away, to defend yourself. That's what a fascist would do. Fascists also condemn speech. Fascists also burn books. So there's no difference between burning a book, a very little difference, and deplatforming somebody. Ladies and gentlemen, we are going to take a little break. Let's just go and give you the latest, and tell your friends about these live streams, please. All 770 people. If you enjoy this live stream, if you enjoy, these live streams, please go ahead and let your friends know. Tell your friends. H.A. Goodman has a lot of live streams during the day. Check them out. Share this segment everywhere. Hit subscribe. If you're new to this channel, 770 people, hit subscribe. And thank you so very much to my super chat. Thank you so very much. I will see you very soon today. We're going to have a lot going on. And the latest on the Manafort trial, I'll tell you right now. Still waiting. Look at that. It could very well be that he gets off, because, and which would be a blow. The extraordinary bias of the judge in the Manafort trial, meaning that don't look good. Give me your thoughts below. Share this segment everywhere. Thank you so very much for watching. I will see you very soon. Thank you to my super chat.